students. That was one of the largest mountains we pushed through together as pharmacists in training. And on the other side, we've become compassionate, determined, ambitious, and resilient for our future patients. I am beyond proud of all of us here for making it this far, because now we can safely say we overcame a pandemic just as mere student pharmacists. So just imagine what we can overcome and accomplish as actual pharmacists. Of course, none of us would be here today without the incredible amount of support we received from our administration, faculty, and staff. I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude to our deans, Dean Reagan, Associate Deans Backus, Dutta, Emerson, Heydrich, and Stobaugh, Assistant Deans Holcomb and Newell, as well as Dr. Rusinger and Dr. Barnes. You were able to provide us with direction and guidance. We're never too busy to listen to our concerns, always there for someone to talk to, and showed us that there are no limits to what we could do, as we all witnessed firsthand your astonishing leadership through the pandemic. I would also like to thank our Office of Experiential Education, Dr. Fullerton and Dr. Bates, for ensuring each one of us receive extraordinary rotational experiences. They were readily available, made us feel heard, and were capable of moving mountains to make sure that what we requested is what we got. And to our faculty. Wow, how could I put into words what it meant to us to have you as role models and mentors? We consider ourselves lucky to have been able to learn from some of the most innovative and respected researchers in the country. So, to all our administration, faculty, and staff, your hard work and dedication have made this day possible. You've supported us, challenged us, and pushed us to be the best that we can be. You have instilled in us a love of learning, a sense of community, and a commitment to excellence. We couldn't have done it without you. So, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, truly thank you, for all that you have done for us. We will continue carrying the responsibility of what it means to be a Jayhawk as we move forward in our lives and our careers. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank the most important people in our lives, our audience here today of family, friends, and loved ones. And to those who are unable to attend, we still feel your presence and support with us in spirit. Saying thank you is simply not enough for what you all have put up with, not only these last 4 years, but our whole educational journey. We acknowledge that it is hard to be a loved one of a pharmacy student. The amount of stress and sacrifices you have endured for us all to be here today is something well recognized and much appreciated from all of us. You have been with us every step of the way, from sleepless nights, the constant studying, and dealing with our phone calls stating the most famous sentence you now know by heart: I think I failed the exam. With your response usually around the lines of, I'm sure you did great, and then later on getting that follow-up call of, it turns out I actually passed. You've celebrated our milestones, such as our P1 year convocation of us taking the pledge of professionalism, to the end of our didactic course journey with our white coat and pinning ceremony. And these are just a few instances of your involvement throughout our pharmacy school career. And despite these inevitable ups and downs, you never once lost faith and confidence in our ability to succeed. You have believed in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. You have lifted us up when we stumbled. You have cheered us on when we felt like giving up. You've celebrated our achievements when we reached new heights, and always reminded us of what's truly important when we lost our way with no judgment. My point is, you all were there when we needed you the most, and we can never thank you enough. Now that we've all finally reached the finish line, you can all take a big sigh of relief. That is, at least until we all move on to our next adventure, where we will need you once again. And at last, to the people who have made these last 4 years bearable amongst the storm, filled our lives with everlasting memories, and ignited lifetime friendships. My fellow classmates, my best friends, my pharmacy family. We have one another to thank for the adventures of these past 4 years. We've celebrated together. We've gone out of town to celebrate the end of our semesters, used every excuse to go to Sandbar, and yes, I'm looking at you, Dom and Anthony. And we've honored each other's incredible achievements, and we stood beside one another through weddings and major life events. We've struggled together. From tackling exams we all thought we would never pass, learning to navigate through a pandemic, studying late into the night, going on late coffee runs, and then getting to school early enough to see the deer out by the garden, just so we could secure the best study room, which Elizabeth insists is absolutely, without a doubt, room 3027. We've been there for one another, from setting up Zoom meetings to study with one another, supporting our fellow classmates at Mr. Pharmacy, sorry faculty judges for what you may have witnessed, visiting each other's student posters at mid-year, or even just lending an ear to listen to, because even when the world shut down, we had to keep moving forward. We've learned a lot about each other. We learned each other's stories and what led you to pharmacy, whether it was experiencing a battle yourself or along with a loved one, or how a mentor inspired you into the profession. We also learned our classroom habits. We know Natalie will ask the questions everyone's thinking, but no one will say. And you can always count on Tanner to airdrop memes on the days class seemed to drag. You would think our main form of communication in a professional environment was emails. That for us, that was wrong. It was memes. Memes hit differently, especially when you think you failed a test, and apparently everyone else thought so too. We've worked side by side together to protect our communities and serve patients to the best of our abilities, from go to class all morning just to leave and go to work or volunteer, and then go home and study till we see the light of the next day, when we would inevitably start the cycle all over again. Sometimes we've even called each other out, forcing our friends to show up to class because, yes, there could be a pop quiz or an attendance point, even having gone as far to tempt them onto campus with a promise of a venti cold brew with 5 extra shots of espresso, and can't forget the cold foam. Thank you, Drea, for my lifetime worth of Starbucks. We've been frustrated together because why on earth would they schedule a statewide tornado drill during our therapy exam? Or be told the night before the biochemistry exam that all 20 amino acid structures should be memorized? Sorry for the reminder, friends. I had to do it. We also had a time in our journey when we did not know what to expect tomorrow. But we used that frustration to stand behind our profession and stepped up during the pandemic. And now, look at the impact we have forever stamped onto the community. We've conquered numerous battles together, including, but not limited to, wasps invading our classrooms, having no access to a coffee shop, and the vending machine only taking cash, not card. Truly a dark time for us all. All the way to staffing vaccine clinics and coordinating events in the blink of an eye once the world closed down, and figuring out the new normal once it opened once more. We've learned together, because this is what this was all about, right? I'm sure none of us will forget the essentials of 1, our elderly go crazy for grapefruit juice, 2, babies are really just bags of water, and our elderly people are essentially butter, and well, everyone else is somewhere in between. 3, alcohol and Tylenol aren't meant for each other. And 4, the best creation on earth, Dr. Pepper, was invented by a pharmacist. We've become family because despite being spread across 2 campuses and separated by 162 miles, there's one thing that will always remind us of each other, and that's the phrase, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that into the microphone?" We've laughed together, cried together, been vulnerable with one another, learned from each other, taught each other, and accomplished incredible things together. In class of 2023, we're still going places together. This may feel like the end, but today's only the beginning. The connections we've built here will serve us throughout the rest of our lives. Not only is pharmacy a small world, but it is one that takes great pride in one another. We will continue to build each other up, teach each other, and encourage one another. And as you move forward in your careers, remember that you have the power to shape your own destiny, to continue following your passion and achieve great things. You've already achieved a great milestone today, and I can attest to that with some statistical evidence, Dr. Barnes' favorite thing. 48.5% of us will be employed as pharmacists. 43.6% are going into a residency, 5% into a fellowship, and 1% are pursuing additional graduate training. And life is filled with accomplishments, big and small, and all of them deserve to be recognized, acknowledged, and celebrated. I ask you to now take a moment to acknowledge the obstacles you overcame to get to this day. The sacrifices you had to make, the money you had to spend, the hours you spent studying, networking, planning, organizing, and participating in professional organizations. And now, turn to the person next to you and congratulate them for making it to this moment. The truth is, you have no idea what it took for them to get here, and they have no idea what it took for you to get here either. We each had our own individual journeys to this moment, and that is something to be proud of. So congratulate them, they made it, and so did you. I'd also like to take this moment to also congratulate each and every one of you. You've worked hard, and you've earned the right to call yourself a pharmacist. I have no doubt that you will go on to do great things in your careers, and I wish you all the best as you embark on this exciting new chapter of your lives. And with that said, I only have one more thing to say. Wherever you go from here, you'll always be a Jayhawk. Rock chalk, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. قصص وايام عشناها تعبها وفرحها حلوين، نعيش اليوم ذكراها سنين وكأنها يومين. قصص وايام عشناها تعبها وفرحها حلوين، نعيش اليوم ذكراها سنين وكأنها يومين. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. معلمنا صنع أجيال صياغة عقلنا فن، تواريخ وأدب وامثال يا ربي ترزق الجنة. معلمنا صياغة عقلنا فن، تواريخ وأدب وامثال يا ربي ترزق الجنة، يا ربي ترزق الجنة. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. في رؤية تهدي الأبصار تعلمنا وتربينا، كبرنا والأمان كبار وحققنا أمانينا. في رؤية تهدي الأبصار تعلمنا وتربينا، كبرنا والأمان كبار وحققنا أمانينا. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. على طار حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. تخرجنا ورفعنا الراس حمدنا الواهب المنان، وفرحنا حب الناس وتحلى الفرحة بالخلان. تخرجنا حمدنا الواهب المنان، وفرحنا حب الناس وتحلى الفرحة بالخلان، حالات الفرحة بالخلان. حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله. على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة، حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله.